Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Seun Ajala. In this particular tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you on how to sew a short pant with two sides pockets. So the material that I cut out here is just my two pockets, the two front material of my shorts, the two back material of my shorts, and one band. So making it 7 materials I cut out. And if you haven't watched how I drafted this particular short pants, I'm going to be dropping a link down my description box. So let's start. So the first thing I want to do is to work on my pockets. So now I'm just going to be bringing out my pocket piece to the front material, and I'm only going to be working on one side at the front, and I'm just going to be marking out 7 inches for the stitching. So now I'm just going to go into my tape rule and measure down 7 inches. That is where my stitch is going to end. And you can see from the look of the piece of the material that it is more than 7 inches. So make sure when you're cutting your pocket piece, make sure it is longer than 7 inches. So now we are going to stitch it. So now I am done stitching, and the next thing I want to do is to flip my material to the back. So that's why I said when you're sewing, sew the piece of the pocket at the front of the material, your short. So now I'm going to be flipping it to the other side of my front material. You can see it is no more showing at the front material. Then after flipping, I'm going to be running a stitch. This is after running a stitch. The next thing I want to do is to pause my pocket for now and work on my pleats. So for this particular pant at the front is going to have a pleat, then at the back I'm going to be running a dart. So now I'm just going to fold the material to make a pleat at the front. So you can see the way I just folded it in and make a pleat at the front, and I make sure I use my dart measurements that I used in my drafting video. So I'm going to be placing that particular measurement on the pleats. So now I'm going to be using my pin to just hold it down. So now I'm just going to be running a little stitch around the pin. So guys, this is after running a stitch around the pleats. Look at the way it's looking. It is looking like what we want it to look. So the next thing we are going to do is to resume my pockets. So for this pockets, I'm going to come out by 1 inches from the piece of the pocket. So now you can see the way I'm just using my tape rule to just make sure that the piece is coming out by 1 inches. I'm just trying to fold it well so that the piece can come out by 1 inches. So guys, after coming out by 1 inches from the piece of my pocket, I'm just going to be running a stitch at the upper part of my front material. So this is after running a stitch, and this stitch is going to be sewing the upper part of the pocket also. And the next thing I want to do is to work on the bottom part of my pocket. We've worked on the upper part. Now we are just going to the bottom part. So guys, the next thing I want to do is just to flip my material, my pocket material. You saw the way I flipped it. After flipping it, I'm going to be running a stitch, a curve stitch down. So you can just see I'm going to be using my pin. This is like a visual learning. You have to watch what I'm doing so you can understand. I flipped my pocket material to the other side, and I'm going to be running a stitch at the curve of the bottom of my pockets. So you can see the way it's looking after flipping and running a stitch. The next thing I want to do is just to fold out the material to the other side so that it is not going to be showing that we run a stitch on my pockets. So if you don't understand this part, you can just comment. I am going to respond to your comments so you can understand well. So now guys, you can see that our pocket is in place. You can see the way it's looking at the back. It is very, very neat. So now I'm just going to make sure it comes out well. So this is the back front pockets, and I'm going to do that for the other side also. So guys, after making my pocket and my pleats, the next thing is to sew from the upper part of my material down to the crotch extension. So you can see how I'm directing you guys. You're going to sew that particular part. So this is the front. I'm also going to do it for the back also. So you can see the way the front is looking like after sewing it from the upper part down to the crotch extension. So you can see the way it's looking. So guys, this is the back material. I just sew from the upper part down to the crotch extension also, and I'm going to be joining it together. I'm going to be joining the side together. I'm just making sure I'm properly placing the side together, and I'm going to be leaving some allowance for my zipper. So I'm going to be sewing one side completely, and I'm going to be leaving one side with an allowance for my zipper. So this is after sewing one side of two sides, but leaving one side for the allowance. Then the next thing I want to do is just to sew the bottom of my shorts, my short pants. So you can see the allowance that I left, and you can see the way it's looking after sewing in the bottom parts, the side, and leaving some allowance for my zipper. And for the back also, I added my darts. You can see the darts for the back, and we are almost done here. Then the next thing I want to do is to fold in the bottom part of my pants. So I'm going to be folding it in. I'm going to be using 1 inches, and the next thing is my zipper. Then the third thing I'm going to be putting is my band. So I'm going to be taking it to the machine and sewing those 3 things that I showed you guys. So guys, this is after putting in my band. You can see the way I just sew the band at the edge. I'm going to take this particular short to the tailor for whipping, but I'm just showing you guys the way I just sew this particular part. Then I added extra band for like a clip that I'm going to be putting there. I'm going to put in a clip. Then this is my zipper. You can see the way I just put my zip. Then the next thing is the down part. I just folded it inside, and that is all for this tutorial. In case you have any question, kindly comment, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys. Bye.